Welcome. I'm Roma, and this is the Roma Zone. I offer all kinds of supplies and tools to make makers happy. I'm also somebody that enjoys working at the jewelry bench, and it's so fun that I really want to share the joy that I experience with others. I'm going to offer you a quick little tutorial on how to make a great pair of earrings very simply. Let's take a quick look. See ya. These simple supplies, wire, brass sheet, sterling discs, make up these interesting earrings. And I'll show you how to do that and what tools are used. Everywhere. And I'm going to go for another size. Okay, and then this last one. Yeah, I miss. You betcha I miss sometimes. And hit my fingers. Yikes! That makes me talk just like a very professional sailor. Okay. See that one. Now, okay, now I'm going to I have a feeling, I'm just going to hold this up. I've got a feeling the smaller one is going to be the one I'm going to need. This guy just looks a little bit too big. And I'll cut him out. Set this one aside. Okay. So now I'm going to use this and trace it on one side and then the other. Let me just trace it on the back because it's not all lumpy. The hard part's holding it still. You can glue it into place, but I'm just not going to do that right now. because I'm just going to do this super quick. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over so we have a right and a left. Quick. Okay, so now we're just going to cut them out like this. Snipping away here. You don't want to get your fingers in the way because that could cause a real problem. Here we have our two pieces. Nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of nibble at the bottom to kind of round that a little bit. And for the rest of the way, all these little edges, I'm going to use my sanding block right here. I'm going to sand them. Okay, now I'm going to make a quick ornament. I've got a 3/8 22 gauge disc here. I've got one of my brand new 3/8 shank native style design stamps, and I'm going to put this stamp on here. I'm going to align this on here, and it's going to probably be off center. I'm sure it will be, but that doesn't bother me. I'm just going to rock it back and forth to find the sweet spot. You need to find a place that's as flat as possible. I'm going to take a 1-pound hammer and give it a good whack, and you can see the impression on here. There you go. Neato. So I made another one. So here's this one. And I'm going to color it in with a little Sharpie. Now I'm going to take my hole punch and I'm going to punch out the hole that's right at the center. I'm going to, like this, line it up. I'm lining up the hole puncher right in the center of the design. And squeeze. Now, I'm just going to try to scoot this off. I'm just scooting that a little bit right and push it off. If you twist it back and forth, you'll break off your schnozzle, which you don't want to do. Okay, here I have the wing component, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole in this. I've already punched a hole in this circular ornament, so I'm going to use this as a guide for my hole into the wing component. I'm going to set it up to where I think it looks nice. I like it sticking above the edge of the wing component a little bit. So I'm going to take a very small tip Sharpie and I'm going to put it inside the hole. I'm going to mark it inside the hole right here. Dink. And I'm going to use that as my guide for the hole punch. So here I have this ornament, and I'm going to line up the nozzle with my mark, and boom. And I'm going to get this off of here like so. You can see my hole. Great. So the wing has a hole, my ornament has a hole. I have a 10mm jump ring that I opened really wide. Now all I need to do is make an ear wire. I'm going to measure this ear wire. 2.5 inches is about all I really ever need. So, cut it. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go down about 1 inch, and I'm going to bend this down, and now I'm going to bend the top around. Oops, that was messed up. So here I have a loop. Now it's better. You can see I have a little loop on the top. And now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and grab the loop. And I'm going to take another pair of chain nose pliers and grab this long part, and I'm tugging this direction so I have tight revolutions around this longer piece which goes in the ear. I want to have 3 revolutions, nice and tidy and snug, and you can see they're pretty snug. Now I've got a little butt end sticking out, so I'm going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to put them and cut that butt end off. Now that butt end still has a little teensy part that's sticking up, so I'm actually going to hold it on the loop, and I'm going to push that down with my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to feel that and make sure that it's not a rough bit. Okay. So now I'm going to take my ear wire bail pliers. I'm going to go in a smaller barrel I'm going to use. I'm going to hold this like this, and I'm going to push this all the way in, and with the loop facing me, I'm going to push this down, 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 and around. So here we have your basic ear wire. I want this end to be as a similar length as my other ear wire, so I'm going to hold this up. Okay, they look related. Yay, I love it when they look related, especially when they all go on the same head. And I'm going to measure. I need to cut this off about here. So I'm going to hold my finger there, and I'm going to take my cutters and the flat part over here and just cut. And I always try to cut so the little bits don't fly like in my face. I want the bits to fly down, because it's just nicer. Because I always wear eye protection when I work. But still, I don't want it to go up nose hole. You know. So I'm smoothing now with the sanding block, because you know you don't want sharp little bits in your ear. So I'm just kind of like going in the circle here. We're going to feel it like so. So it feels nice. So I'm going to kick the end up just like this one, so it's easier to install in the ear. There. Okay, now let's assemble our earring. I'm going to put the large 10mm jump ring into my chain nose pliers. I'm going to first load the wing. Then I'm going to load the circular ornament. And then I'm going to install the ear wire. And now I'm going to close it. And I'm going to take 2 pairs of chain nose pliers, and I'm going to push these 2 ends together and make sure they are nice and smooth. You have to sometimes use your finger to make sure they're nice and smooth and they're not sitting cattywampus. So let's take a look. Hey, we put it on backwards. I think we need to flip it over. We have a very interesting pair of earrings that were really quite easy to make. Thank you so much for having watched my tutorial video. And I just want to say that anything that I show is just an example of what can be done. Just the tip of the iceberg. Always allow all your education to layer, to build, to create a wonderful trove of knowledge that you can assemble and create your own dynamic pieces. It is so rewarding that you can choose and direct and come up with wonderful jewelry items of your own design. Here are the pieces, the tools that I use, and I'm just going to point them out quickly and give them a name. These are ear wire bail pliers. This is a 1-pound hammer, 8-ounce hammer, hole punch. I used the 1.8 millimeter starburst stamp on 3/8. These are the little circle stamps. This is a small 6-inch ruler. This is a 4x4 steel block, hammer, pillow, sandbag. This is the plastic mallet, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, metal cutting shear. Thanks again, and I hope you come back for other future tutorials. Bye-bye.